Here I'm going to give you a tour of Math 143, the online course, and where to find everything. So first I'm going to go into Blackboard and click on Math 143, whatever your current course is. Now to get started, you should read the Start Here menu. That is going to introduce you to your icebreaker. It's going to tell you how to get enrolled in MyMathLab, which is going to be a very critical part of this course. And if you click on the Introduction to Class module, it's going to take you through the first week of class and exactly what I expect out of you. The second thing you're going to want to do is go to the syllabus. The syllabus is here, available for you to print. You need to print this off and read it thoroughly so you know exactly what is expected of you this semester. Turn the edit mode off here so I can see what you're seeing. And also there's going to be a list here of due dates that are going to be due this semester. The list of due dates, it's a skeleton list here. It says Chapter 1, Chapter 2. Each of these chapters has a checklist that goes along with it. The checklist, everything on that checklist will be due on this due date. And notice that most of the due dates are on Sundays. You usually have about 2 weeks between things to get things due. It's not always 2 weeks, so don't go by that rule. If I were you, I would write these due dates on your calendar somewhere that you see it daily so that you know. And this due date does not mean you should start working on, say, Chapter 2 on Sunday, September 13th. You should start working on Chapter 2 on August 31st so that you finish everything on time. If you start the night before it's due, you're not going to finish on time and you're not going to do well. I will answer questions all during up until the due date, but in order to get those questions answered on time, you have to do it before that due date. That is so important. Doing things and waiting till the last minute are going to be your biggest enemies. All right, now the main part of your things are going to be found under modules. So if you click modules, let me open this up for you. If we go to, let me go to module 2 just because it's a little bit more like all the other modules. Module 1 is a little bit longer. Well, actually, I'll just go to module 1 just to start there. Each module starts with a list of objectives, and each module then starts with a checklist. This checklist you should open up and print out. I would print this out to make sure you get everything done. And in this module, it tells you where everything can be found. So for example, here we have each course introduction thing. All of your things are either going to be in Blackboard or MyMathLab. And I will usually write it here to the side. This is in Blackboard, this is in Blackboard. Here are guided worksheets that you need to complete that are in your EText. These guided worksheets are what you purchased. It's the handheld worksheets that you got for the Eric Gaze textbook. These are not to be turned in. I repeat, these are not to be turned in. These are for your own good. I will regularly post videos if some of the worksheets worked out. If you have specific questions, please email me and I'll be glad to make a video about it. And the homework itself is in MyMathLab. Let me pull up another screen so I can see this little plus arrow up here. I'm going to type in MyMathLab to show you where things are in there. So I'm going to sign into MyMathLab. This is after I've assumed that you've already enrolled in MyMathLab using that handout that was under the Start Here menu. I'm put my username and my password. Keep those nearby too so you don't forget them. So I'm going to choose my course. This one is Math 143, Fall 2015, or whatever section you're in. So in the course, you're going to see your course home. This is just where you start your page at. Usually the upcoming homework is going to be shown, and I'll show you when things are due. But if you just click on assignments, all your assignments will appear there. For some reason, it's starting here in the assignments on section 1. If you hit this view all on one page, you won't have it like that. You see how the assignments, so here, chapter 1 assignments have already been past due, so it appears in black. The ones that you can actually do appear in blue. And the due dates are over here to the left, so you can be able to know when things are due. So for example, chapter 2 things are all due on September 13th. Chapter 1 was all due on August 30th. So I go back to my checklist, see where it says section 1.1 homework, section 1.2 homework, section 1.3, 1.4, so on and so forth, and chapter 1 review quiz. Those are all right there, so see how they're listed that way. I do not accept late work when these things are due. For that reason, I do drop the lowest homework and quiz grade, so that I don't have to write down all these grades in your Blackboard gradebook. I take an average of all the grades you get. So for example, I only did this one, so I got an 11. So I would take the grade of 11 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 and divide it by 4 because there's 4 homework assignments. So I take the average of your 4 homework grades and put that in as your homework for that chapter. So when I say I drop one homework grade, I drop all of the homework grade from a chapter, and then one whole quiz, and I do that at the end of the semester, and that should take into account when things happen or when you forget homework or that sort of thing. Now everything else, well, actually the guided worksheets. So the guided worksheets are what you were given. If for some reason you don't have the guided worksheets, you can click here and you can pull them up if you don't have the ones, you don't have a paper version of them. You can download them here. Gotta keep hitting buttons, sorry about that. But you can see this is the guided worksheets. So here when it says complete pages 5 through 8, I would just go to page 5. It's just taking a while to load up. And that's because my internet is slow. Usually it goes pretty quickly. There you go. That's QL4. There we go. Page 5 through 8. Keep going down. There we go. Pages 5 through 8, and that would be your first assignment there. So on the checklist, you would work through those. Now, the neat thing about these guided worksheets is you have an EText that goes along with this, and the EText actually works through the worksheets as well. So you can open that EText. Now, unfortunately, your book is not that great about finding the EText here. You should be able to go under Multimedia Library and find it. But what I did to make it easier was if you go back to Blackboard, I have a link here on the bottom that says Online Textbook. And you have to sign in again with your MyMathLab account. And pick your book. I actually teach another course, so I have a couple books here, but you should only have this one. So when you go to your textbook, this is where all the videos are found. So if I look at my checklist, it says, watch the following videos in your EText. So this is Chapter 1, Section 1. So in my EText, I'm going to find Chapter 1, Section 1. Again, it's a bit slow on my computer. I got to let it load up. So if I go to Chapter 1, Section 1, if I click there, it's going to take me right to the section. Now, the book, you need to read it, and this is an online class, so you are going to have to read things for yourself. You don't have an instructor in front of you. You want to read through the things. You can actually hover over these words, and it will give you a definition there, even though it's in the definition, but it will tell you exactly what the word is. You go through the pages by clicking Next Page up here to the left. And in each of these, you'll find a video. So you see where it says Chapter 1 Checklist Function Definition? I put them in order, so you're going to watch the video. These videos are not very long. And the nice thing about them is you can pause them and go back to them and that sort of thing. Now again, there's no way for me to know that you watch the videos, but you are going to have a very hard time completing the homework if you don't watch the videos. So let me show you what one looks like.
Function definition. This video will explore the definition of a function. A function is a...
And you can pause the video, so you didn't catch that. You can drag this back by holding it down and then hit play again.
This video will explore the definition of a function.
You can skip ahead if you want to.
This video will explore the definition of a function.
And you can even put closed captions on there. You can turn it up and down here. So these videos are kind of nice. It's one reason I like this textbook. Alright, so again, if I hit next page, you'll see the videos stand out like that. They always have that little play button on them. But don't ignore the words here. You need to read too. You need to take notes, just like you would in a regular class. Alright, so that's how the checklist works. So that's how you go through your EText, go through your homework. When you get to the end, almost every chapter, I'm going to have a lab. For this chapter, if I go back, so I'm going to close out that EText, close out those worksheets. If I go back to Blackboard, you can see here I have a discussion board. The discussion board, if you click on it, it takes you right to the discussion board. Here's the paper you had to read for the first one. There's another thing that tells you how to get into MyMathLab. Here's the assignment for this particular chapter. In order to go to an assignment, you just click on it. And for all of my assignments, I recommend you open up whatever the worksheet is. So I'd open it up. And then type, and you want to save it in your own folder, and then just type your answers into the document itself. So like here, see if I click on it, it's going to not let me type anything because it's a read-only document. See, it says here, it's open for viewing only. So go and save it. Hit Save As. You can put it anywhere you want. Some people like to throw everything on their desktop, but you can do that if you want to. You can just save it as whatever you want to. It just upgraded it for me. That's great. Now this one's still the read-only document, so if you want to get the document that you need to use to actually do something, you got to find it on your desktop or wherever you put it. And now you can type into it. So that's how I recommend doing all of these that have Word documents, is just type your answer right into it. And then you would just save it. Yeah, well, I'm not going to save just because I don't want to type over that. And then go back to Blackboard, and you're going to browse your computer and attach that file. So you're going to attach the file that you already wrote over, and then when I go to check it, I'll see that file there. It's the easiest way for me to check it, and it should be the easiest way for you too, so that you don't have to type everything down here in the comment section. Okay. Discussion boards are going to be due with every chapter, but like I said, there are links in every module, but you can go right to the discussion board link itself too if you wanted to. So you can see every discussion board is there. Every discussion board too, I also have these little homework questions. So if you click on there, you can actually post a question that you have, and I'll answer it. So you can create a thread, and you can say, hey, I don't understand how to do this question, and then you can get help that way. Alright? And then that's it. So as long as you go through the checklist every chapter, you should make sure you get everything done. There should never be any doubt of, did I do this or did I do that? I would always write the due date here on the top of your checklist so that you know that when it's due, just to give yourself another visual. Now also, I keep all grades in the gradebook in Blackboard. There's a gradebook in MyMathLab, but that's just your homework and quizzes. That's not your grade. But if you click My Grades, you'll see an updated grade list. I don't see anything because I don't have grades for this course, but that's how that works. So here your biggest things are your modules, discussion boards, and the online textbook down here. That's going to help you get around in this course. So again, everything's in modules. So if you get lost, just let me know. But let me know. Don't just be lost and, don't tell me anything. Let me know what's going on, okay? And if you have any questions, email me. Make sure you email me with your student email, because usually I don't get emails from other email addresses. It's just the way that our email's set up. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. And good luck.